Morning, everybody. It's Eric from Sensory Dad, and I've had a lot of conversations lately about clothing and children not being able to wear their clothes, or they want to go naked in the car, and obviously it's not conducive with the weather getting colder. So here's Leo, and you'll see a shirt that he wears, a type of shirt that he wears almost every day.
So does it go blue? Like regular shirts.
So obviously, when you're bent over, the fact that your shirt wrinkles, that's one of the reasons he likes the compression gear. As you can see, it's not very tight on him. It's just tight enough. But when the fabric folds over and rubs against him, that's one of our triggers. Now this morning, the reason we wanted to really do this video is we got him some new sweatpants. And
I didn't like the bottom since whatever I put them on, it went like this.
okay, so they're not tight enough on the bottom. So a lot of times, when we first started having issues with your clothes, we had no idea. So I remember when you used to wear long sleeve stuff, and you would say, it feels weird, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't tell us why it felt weird, right?
I did not like a single bit.
So what felt weird about it? Like, I think
I didn't like the line that the clothing showed in.
the seam.
Yeah,
Like
I don't like that. I didn't like that until you put the TENS unit on it.
What about with your wrist and the long sleeves? Same thing?
Yeah, but until I stopped wearing long sleeves, I didn't have to deal with it.
But in the wintertime, you gotta wear long sleeves, right?
Yeah. I guess I have to go back to that.
So guys, what we did was we met with our occupational therapist, and we met with a doctor, a neurologist in Pittsburgh at Children's Hospital, and we brought up the idea of trying to desensitize the areas that were affected by his sensory issues in reference to clothing. So feet, ankles, wrists. The thing we did, and we said if we used the TENS unit and did minor electrical pulses on him, would that hurt or anything like that? And they're like, honestly, the neurologist told my wife, it's worth a shot. It's not going to hurt him, and see if it works and get back to me. So a lot of these people have been kind of surprised that it did work, but you can see now that, he definitely wears jackets in the wintertime. He's changed his whole philosophy on clothing. And I can tell you, there would be times I'd be going out to work, if you remember this. And I'd turn around, he'd be completely naked in the entryway. And he'd say, my clothes feel weird. So, what we did was, he and I worked together, and we would lay out all his different clothes in the morning. And I'd have maybe 10 or 15 pairs of socks and 5 or 6 pairs of pants and a bunch of different shirts. And every day we'd try one on, and you'd get mad and throw it across the room, and then we'd try another one on, and we'd say, all right, next one, let's go to the next one. Come on, we got to get this done. It's to the point now where every single morning in this household, I've got my 9-year-old, very intelligent girl, Calliope, and I've got my 5-year-old Luke, who's a wild man. He's the first one up. He's the first one dressed. He's the first one to have his teeth brushed and eat breakfast. He's the star performer every morning. Every morning.
Anyway, I'm going to get pack them up.
Well, come here, dude. Let's get this done. So, you're blocking the camera.
Oh, I didn't know.
So, sit on this chair. We're going to show everybody. So, this is a basic TENS unit that we got. It was not very expensive. I think we got it off of Amazon. So what we did with this, get the little paw print things. We put it on the lowest possible setting. Now this one plugs into the wall. It has an internal battery, and I use it for my back and shoulders for injuries that I've had from past years of being stupid in powerlifting and stuff like that. So basically, just apply these. And on the lightest pulse, there's about, I think, 6 different pulses you can do to where it's like a shiatsu massage or a needle. Leo controls this himself, and he can determine if it bothers him or not for the electrical impulses. Duration, we used to do this about 20 minutes because the first setting on it is 20 minutes. It's an automatic timer, so we knew when it was done. And then we were doing this initially as much as he would tolerate. And I say that not because of pain or anything like that, just because of sitting still. So normally we would try to get something good on the TV for him.
I feel like a zzz.
Or let him have some electronic time while he was doing it, just because it is obviously 20 minutes long. So he's done really well with this therapy. Like we said, we've done it to the ankles. Any place that's a major sticking point. One other thing I wanted to say to you guys, a lot of what I've tried to convey to the people in the groups that I talk to about this stuff, this thing is a ever-changing situation. So when you look at something that fits your need like this, the brushing, compression gear, all this stuff. It seems like for us, I tell you that, you know, it'll work one week, it won't work the next week, or it'll work for 6 months and then it'll stop working. It eventually boomerangs back to where it works again for him, and I don't understand why. Another thing we can't really factor in or figure out is every time he hits a growth spurt, and whatever reason, it throws his system completely off. And it'll be, we regress, we're right back to whatever. And that's a direct correlation to him growing. And I just don't get it. Maybe it's the nerves or something like that. It's something, you know, maybe we could bring up with the neurologist, but we've never got an answer to that question, guys. So,
I got the set to number 4 and it's still stinging me.
Well, turn it down.
I like it.
You like it, huh?
Yeah.
So guys, you see that, you know, if you get your kid to buy into this thing and really understand why you're doing it, he can explain a lot of this stuff. You know, now, initially he wouldn't vocalize it, wouldn't even talk about it. It was just straight to a tantrum, and it feels weird. And then he'd start throwing stuff and even getting violent with us. You could see the progress. We just had a meeting yesterday at a place called the Circle of Life, and he does a detoxification of his feet, and they have us on a blood type diet where we cut out orange juices, a bunch of different things, a lot of glutens. So not to get off topic, but we really go through every avenue trying to get that done. And we mentioned this about, you know, what we do with this, and she was pretty impressed with that too. You know, it's being open-minded enough to try different things that are going to work for your child. So,
You're going to push him.
can you explain to everybody, like, when we started doing this and it desensitized your areas, how did you feel wearing the new clothes?
I liked it. I was fine with it then.
You were fine with it then?
Yeah.
Does it still bother you sometimes, and should we bring this back out?
It bothers me sometimes, but I kind of like this.
Well, you know what I hated about my workout pants?
What?
The ones that I wear, when this is too loose and it flops down under there like you said, because then when I'm wearing shoes, it like gets on the bottom of my shoes, it gets dirty.
You know whenever you pointed to heel, the shock went down there?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So what we could do is maybe talk to Mommy and see if she could stitch that tight for you. You know that?
Yeah.
That's something we could do. So if you tell us, if you're able to tell us why something's bothering you, rather than ripping them off like you did 10 minutes ago and running around the house in your underwear, if you could just tell us, this is why. Because it's great that you can talk about this stuff. That's what we need, okay? You understand?
Okay.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to show you a little bit of this, the idea of using the TENS unit to get your kid into normal clothing with wintertime coming and everything. I know I've had some questions on this later on the website. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, this is my man Leo and Eric from Sensory Dad. If you guys have anything you need, please subscribe to the channel and let us know, and like the video. Thank you.